shade up and open the window. Oh, right. Oh, it's stuck. Sorry, let me. What's this room, Rose? It's the day nursery. Leastways it used to be when the Major and Miss Lizzie was children. Hasn't been used for a long time now. Oh, not since before the war. Oh, can you see anything? No, I can't. I can't get your shoulder through. Oh, what can I try then, please? If I can't, you won't be able to. Come on, we best go downstairs. Oh, this place could do with a good airing. What's in all them cupboards, Rose? Oh, toys and books mostly. Belonged to the Major and Miss Lizzie when they was children. Not so many now. Mrs. Bellamy gave a lot away to the poor children in the East End, seeing as though she didn't have no kiddies of her own. Come on. Close the door and I'll lock it. Yes, Rose. You need a bite.
Here, listen. Can you hear it now?
Not the victory march already.
It's still to pass through Belgrave Square at, say, 20 minutes to 11 exactly, according to the newspaper.
Mrs. Bridges?
What is it, Ruby?
I can hear bandage shoots outside.
Yes, Ruby. It's the victory march. What Mr. Hudson and me was just speaking about.
Mr. Hudson, you can't see from the nursery window on account of them bars being in the way. It's getting ever so near, Mr. Hudson. It must be in Punt Street by now. Couldn't we slip out to the corner of Eaton Place and watch? Only Miss Georgina be going past soon, marching with the VADs, and we might get a glimpse of her. And there's to be tanks going past and sailors and soldiers and leaves, Mr.
Oh, we can't have all the servants scampering out of the house at once, Rose.
Oh, go on, Mr. Hudson. Let them go out and see what they can. After all, it's just every day we have a procession at the end of the street.
Oh, very well. Just down to the corner of Belgrave Street. No further, mind. Now, behave yourselves. No pushing or shouting on the pavement.
Thanks, Mr. Hudson. Can I go to Mrs. Bridges?
Oh, I suppose so.
Oh, I'm going to get my hat on then. Oh, come as you are, Ruby. Don't be nervous.
Hey, ready then. Take care.
Aren't you going out to see it, Mr. Hudson?
Oh, no, I'm too old to be pushed around in crowds by young policemen, Mrs. Bridges. It's not dignified. Besides, the victory march is bound to be reported in great detail by the newspapers, with plenty of pictures, no doubt.
Oh, I'd like to see it, come to think of it.
Do you wish to go with the others?
No, I do not. But I would like to see it, seeing as how they're coming so close to the house.
Then you shall, Mrs. Bridges.
What?
I'll take you to a place where you'll maybe see something of it.
What? Out?
Not out, in.
Where?
Upstairs.
Oh,
Come along.
But out of window, Rose says you...
Never you mind what Rose said, just you follow me.
Where did you get that from?
Oh, it was my father's, Kate, from deer stalking in the hill when he was head gilly for Lord Invermore and Argyllshire. Come along now, quickly, quickly.
Yes.
You'll just be in time if we make haste.
Oh, hold on, Mr. Hudson. I'm not as young as I thought.
There, see?
Oh, yes. There's hundreds of soldiers go up marching along, all with their banners gleaming in the sun. Look at them generals riding in front. What lovely horses. You have a look at it.
That'll be Sir Douglas Haig. And Marshal Foss and all of them. There's the naval detective now. All speeds and bodies. I can't read the names of the ships and their caps. It's too far away.
Any sign of the nurses yet?
Oh, there's hundreds of fighting troops to go by fast. Should have started out by now.
Won't she feel proud? Marching in the victory procession. That little girl from Salem. Our little Miss Georgina.
Aye, she'll be a proud wee lass today.
Oh, thank God that's over. My feet are bloody well killing me.
Georgina!
Well, they are.
How far do you reckon you marched today?
One of the Queen Alexandras behind us said she read in the paper it was over 5 miles.
Jolly good for you. Keep you slim.
Oh, it's all very well for you, sitting down in a covered stand all the time.
You can sit down all day. Stand up and hand out the free souvenir programs to all the high-ups. Including an Indian prince who handed me £5.
Did you give it back?
I had to, unfortunately.
All I want to do now is tear off this wretched uniform and burn it. I don't think I'll ever get up the stairs.
You want me to carry you up?
Oh, you couldn't. I'm a dead weight. On second thoughts, perhaps I won't wear my uniform. Might be needed again one day.
I sincerely hope not. Hudson, we're back from a half day. Miss Georgina's walked over 5 miles and she's got sore feet.
Oh, indeed, miss.
Did you see the procession?
Oh, yes, sir, from the drawing room balcony. The maid servants went down to the corner of Belgrave Street.
It was a funny feeling marching so near to the house.
I understand Rose and the others caught a wee glimpse of you, miss. You were very proud and excited.
Wasn't it worth the sore feet?
Well, I'm glad they managed to see it. I'm not doing any good sitting here. I must go upstairs and change.
Oh, so it's like, come on then. Come on, to give you a...
Oh, mind where you're going, McGill.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry, Mr. Hudson. I didn't
Well, I wasn't I?
Oh, I know, and I'm ever so sorry. I didn't mean it, honest.
Oh, Miss Georgina's gone off to change. Make haste now and run her bath for
I
her.
was just going to, Miss Judson.
Then come downstairs for your tea. It's gone 4 o'clock.
Yes, Miss Judson. Oh, and thanks for letting us see the procession, Miss Judson. It's something I'll never forget. She went by ever so close to where we were standing. We could almost touch her. And Rose, she shouted out Miss Georgina to her. She couldn't hear us, you see. For the band. Mr. Hudson, tea's nearly ready.
Oh, thank you, Rose.
And you'll never guess who's in the servants' hall. Come to see us.
I have no idea.
Best go in and see for yourself.
Edward. Easy.
Hello, Mr. Hudson.
They just popped in for a cup of tea and to see how he was.
That's right.
I see.
Well, you haven't changed a scrap, Mr. Hudson, has he, Eddie?
No. But I have, Mr. Hudson?
Have you, Edward?
Well, yeah, he shaved off his tash. Haven't you noticed? And let his hair grow.
I'm what they call a civilian now, Mr. Hudson. A door-to-door salesman.
Yes, he goes round from house to house, ringing the doorbells, selling hairbrushes, shoelaces, combs and that out of a suitcase. Oh, only temporary, mind. He's thinking of chucking that in, getting a more permanent situation as storeman in a furniture place out Romford way.
That's right. Then we can buy a nice little house out in the country with a garden and Daisy can have her baby.
Daisy's expecting come Christmas time, Mr. Hudson.
So I observe. Congratulations, both of you.
I'm going to knit something nice for it. Yeah.
And how soon do you expect to take up this new situation, Edward?
Oh, I wrote off an answer to the advert last night, so I should hear this week, I expect.
I see.
Oh, that's Lily. Come in your place, Daisy. Mr. and Mrs. Barnes, what used to work here. Good afternoon. Hello.
Lily, eh? Oh, I feel sorry for you, Lily. Yeah, working under Rose. You ask my wife what she's like. Proper old fussball. Never satisfied, are you, Rose?
Yeah. You two see the victory procession? Couldn't manage it. Eddie was out working at his job. He hasn't got time for no victory processions.
No, mind you, the bus I was on got held up for half an hour while the procession marched down the Lambeth Road. I could hear the band, only I couldn't see it. Only the crowds.
We all saw it, didn't we? Leastways, all but Frederick. He went with the Major to the Royal Pavilion outside Buckingham Palace, so he got the best view of all. Who's Frederick? Oh, that's Frederick. You remember him, Edward, Trooper Norton. Used to be the Major soldier servant. Well, he's working here now as footman, aren't you, Fred?
That's right. Good afternoon. Well, how's the knobs then, eh? Flourishing?
The knobs?
I think Edward's referring to the family upstairs.
Then you should say so.
Oh, why should he? He's not working here no more.
For your information, Edward, the Major and Miss Georgina are in residence here and both flourishing, as you put it. His Lordship and Lady Bellamy went over to Versailles for the signing of the peace treaty and remained in Paris for their honeymoon.
I expect they'll be wanting to move into a new house when they come back with their ladyship's children.
What? Oh, you lot here just to wait on Miss Georgina and the Major?
I shouldn't fancy you've got enough to do, have you?
Frederick, if you can spare a moment.
Yes, Mr. Hudson.
Before you commence your tea, I should like to go through the cellar book with you and check the port wine. His Lordship should be taking a number of bottles with him, which should be earmarked. If you would kindly come with me to the pantry.
Certainly, Mr. Hudson, at once.
I shall be making you responsible from now on, Frederick, for checking and ordering the spirits and minerals.
Very good, Mr. Hudson. One of that bloke doesn't salute Mr. Hudson every time he gets an order. Well, he's the type.
Frederick is a very good footman, Edward.
Oh, but he's ever so quiet, though. Not like you was. Lily and me think he's quite good looking, don't we, Luke? Yes, that's right.
Yeah, well, Daisy and me can't stop too long. Got to be getting back, haven't we, love? Going for a walk through Hyde Park, see all the singing and dancing. They've got fireworks later.
You people going to see the fireworks? No, not tonight.
And we are not people, neither, Daisy.
It's all right to go in there. Well, only Rose said to draw the curtains. Now it's nearly dark.
Well, they're not in there.
Oh.
I made her order whiskey and soda before they left the dining room, but I can't find him now.
Oh, perhaps they've gone out then.
Better take this back downstairs. Wait till he rings or something.
Well, shall I go and ask Mr. Hudson?
No, don't do that, Lily. I'll keep asking Mr. Hudson what to do. I don't want to look helpless, do I?
Well, I'd best go in there and draw the curtains. You suit yourself. Hello, Fred. That for me?
Soda, miss? Say when?
No, don't. You'll splash the walls.
It's for the Major. I can't find him.
Can't you? He's up in his room.
Oh, I see.
Always goes up to his room these days after dinner. I think he finds the house a bit quiet and dull. So it is.
I'll take this up to him then.
That's right. Don't forget to knock.
Eh?
Knock.
Well, Mr. Hudson said never to knock on doors.
Oh, you always knock on bedroom doors and that. And besides, Miss Georgina's in there with him.
Oh, I see.
Listen to this. Who's Who in Paris. Among society notables to be seen at Maxim's toasting the Peace Treaty in Champagne was the Thomas and Lady Reed, the Honourable Mrs. Arthur Caldwell with a large party, and tete-a-tete in a corner, handsome Viscount Bellamy, former Civil Lord of the Admiralty, dining with his dazzling new wife Virginia, who was Mrs. Charles Hamilton. Lady Bellamy told me she and Lord Bellamy would be returning to London shortly to look for a townhouse.
Good luck to 'em. How are your feet?
Oh, rested, thanks.
Who is it?
Excuse me, sir. Your whiskey and soda.
Come in, Norton.
Norton? It's Frederick, isn't it, Frederick?
As you wish, miss.
Norton to me. Rupert Norton. Always will be.
Soda, sir.
Thank you, Frederick.
Sir.
Little did I realise, when you used to bring me my revolting stew in a mess tin in the dugout with all the shells bursting outside, that one day you'd be serving me whiskey and soda in my own house. Well, I bet you didn't either, eh?
Did occur to me as a possibility, sir. When I came here with your kit, after you was posted missing.
Well, I cannot have done. Everyone thought I was dead.
I didn't, sir.
He had faith, didn't you, Frederick?
Must have had, miss. Sunny fireworks, sir, in Hyde Park.
Oh, they're just starting. Lovely golden and green sparks. Goodness, that went high. It must have been a rocket. Do come and look, Jumbo. It's such marvellous colours.
Because I want you to hear a new record I just bought at Selfridges. It's a new jazz band playing rather a jolly tune. You listen to this.
Finished the housework already, Rose.
Yes, Mr. Hudson. All done.
But it's not 11 o'clock yet.
Oh, we didn't have very much to do. You can put them brooms and that dustpan away, Lily. Cupboard in the passage. Yes, Rose. And when you're done, you can sit down and get on with the darning. Yes, Rose.
She's a good girl, that Lily. Quicker than what Daisy was, I shouldn't wonder.
Oh, yes, she's quite willing. A bit wasted, though, if you ask me.
What do you mean by that, Rose?
Yeah, what with the drawing room and the study being shut up and the late Mrs. Bellamy's room, not to mention the morning room not being used hardly.
Not being used? Oh, where do they sit then, the Major and Miss Georgina?
He sits in his room mostly.
Miss Georgina spends much of her time out these days, Mrs. Bridges, visiting friends and going to parties.
She's up by 8 most mornings and makes her own bed.
Oh, that'll be her training, I expect. She's learned it in the hospitals.
I keep telling her, leave your room for Lily to do, but she's up, washed, dressed, all her clothes started, long before Lily's got a chance to get up to her.
What is it, Frederick?
I've cleaned the silver and put it away, Mr. Hudson. Anything else?
Nothing I can think of. Oh, unless you'd care to brush the Major's grey suit, the one he wore last night.
I have done, Mr. Hudson, and put his uniform away.
Oh, very well. And then you'd best consider the next hour or so your own, Frederick.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson.
Seems to me Rose is right. There's not enough work for a full staff to do in this house. Not anymore, there isn't.
That's the truth of it, Mrs. Bridges.
Some of us is going to have to look for new places. Don't have to be a fortune teller to see that.
Hello, Sloane 3. Oh, yes, yes, good morning, my lord. Oh, yes, yes, I see. I trust you and Lady Bellamy had a pleasant sea voyage. Very good, my lord. Oh, yes, yes, I'll look them out for you, have them all ready. Yes, I will certainly inform the Major, my lord. Very good, thank you. They're back from Paris, safe and sound.
Oh.
Here's Lordship and Lady Bellamy.
Staying at the Hyde Park Hotel again?
Aye, but he wants 2 or 3 of his suits, a cigar case, and a few other items you left behind here.
Oh.
Coming over to fetch them at tea time and to inform the Major.
I see. How did he sound?
Remarkably cheerful, Mrs. Bridges. And who's to blame him? Well, I'll go upstairs and look out his things.
Why not take Frederick with you? Could help you pack the cases. Give him something to do.
I can manage without Frederick, thank you, Mrs. Bridges.
Settling down all right, are you?
Very well indeed, my lord, thank you.
Good. I thought you would.
James? The Major's upstairs, my lord, in his sitting room.
Oh, I see.
This way, my lord.
It's all right, Frederick. I can find my own way.
Very good, my lord.
You get on with your other work. I'm sure you've got plenty to do. James?
Oh, welcome back, Father.
Good to see you.
Yes.
Everything all right?
Yes, I suppose so. Well, how was Paris? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, it was fascinating. Versailles was like one great international garden party.
Yes, we read about you in Virginia in the sketch.
Oh, you did you? Well, I just came round to fetch a few things. Hudson's packing a valise for me.
I gather.
With your permission, of course.
He doesn't need my permission, Father.
Your butler, James.
And yours.
Well, I no longer live here, do I? Do you prefer to sit up here in your room?
The morning room depresses me.
I would have thought it rather more depressing to shut yourself up in here all day. After all, the life of the house always centered around the morning room.
Yes, that's what Georgina says.
Then why do it?
I don't know. I seem to prefer my own company to anybody else's these days. Don't know why. Just quite happy to sit up here with my own books and things.
You must try and cheer up, James.
Not easy, Father.
I know. Well, it's very quiet in the house. I can see that.
The servants haven't got enough to do. I can't give them all notice, not all of them, not after all these years.
No, of course not.
Otherwise, one would seriously have to think of selling this house. But for one thing, where would Georgina go? I mean, she has no other home but this until she marries. Besides, I want to live here. It's my home.
Was mine too, James.
Yes. Have you and Virginia found anywhere yet?
A house? Well, Virginia's seen one or two she likes, but nothing settled yet. You know, it takes time.
Yeah, then live here, Father, please. It would save you having to, find somewhere else. I can't manage it alone. Please.
Well, that's a kind thought. And I'm very touched. I'm sure Virginia would be too, but...
But what?
Well, Virginia would have to decide, you see. It must depend on her.
Yes, I
After
suppose
all,
so.
she is my wife. She'll be the mistress of whatever house we choose to live in. She's entitled to have a say.
But surely you could persuade her to move in here. There's plenty of room, God knows.
Yes, there's plenty of room, but as you know, she's very much a mind of her own. She's not someone to be talked out of anything easily once her mind is made up.
Yes, but you haven't actually bought anywhere yet. Surely you could persuade her.
I'll talk to her about it this evening, that much I promise. So don't put too much faith in it, James. You must remember that newly married people usually prefer some degree of privacy.
Oh, there's two children dashing about the house.
Well, Alice and William are her children, James, not mine.
Yes, I see. Well, don't even bother to ask her, Father. I can see you're not in favour of the idea, so let's just forget all about it, shall we?
What's the matter, James?
Nothing, Father.
You've had a rotten deal, old boy. Don't think we aren't all aware of that. Beastly time of the war, and then losing Hazel. But we have to go on in life, not just turn our backs on it. You're alive, you have enough money to live on, and some degree of comfort. Time to start a new life, to find something worthwhile to do. Don't give up, James. Don't give up. Well, I'll speak to Virginia about what you suggest. It's the least I can do.
Well, thank you, Father. I'm sure you'll do your best.
Well, I must find Hudson. As soon as pack my case.
Yes.
So, give our love to Georgina. Virginia's and mine.
Yes, she'll be back sometime, I suppose.
May I call your taxi, my lord? Oh, yes, thank you, Hudson. My things are ready. All packed in that case, my lord. Yes, I see.
Will you be sending over for the remainder of your belongings later, so that I can instruct Frederick to have these packed and ready?
I may, Hudson. I'm not sure.
My lord.
Until her ladyship has decided on a house, well, I might as well leave my things here, rather than clutter up our rooms in the Hyde Park Hotel.
Quite, my lord.
Well, I think I'll sit in the morning room and telephone for a taxi.
Oh, I'm not certain that Rose has raised the blind yet or aired the room.
It's all right, Hudson. It doesn't matter.
I'm afraid since the Major comes downstairs so rarely these days, and Miss Georgina so often out.
Hudson, it doesn't matter about the state of the morning room. Just give me a taxi.
No doubt the Major will be closing down the house altogether in due course. And dispensing with the staff?
I have no idea, Hudson. Don't ask me to look into the future. Things are far from settled.
Quite, my lord.
tray.
With a cloth on?
With a cloth on. It's for the Major's supper. He's having it upstairs by himself at 8:30. Look sharp. Well, which is it to be?
I don't know, Mrs. Bridges.
You don't know?
I do not.
But you went upstairs especially to find out.
In his lordship's words, things are very unsettled.
I should think they are unsettled. I know I am.
And that goes for the entire staff, Mr. Bridges. I'm well aware of it. However, his lordship will decide in his own time.
She will, not him.
We must be patient and wait and see.
Yes, I suppose so. That cloth's filthy. Get a clean one out of the drawer.
Yes, Mrs. Bridges.
Good morning, Hudson.
Good morning, my lady. Hudson. Lord. The Major gave orders for you to be shown into the drawing room, my lord.
Oh, did it? I see.
Rose has opened up one end of it, my lord.
So then we'll go up. Don't bother, Hudson. We can make ourselves at home.
I'm afraid the Major had to go out. He should be back shortly.
We're early anyway.
Come on, Virginia.
I've put a decanter of sherry in there, my lord.
Good.
I've never seen your drawing room.
Come in, my dear. God, it smells musty. I do apologize.
What a beautiful room.
Yes, it was once. It's more like a furniture store now. Seen some interesting happenings in its time.
I'm sure this house is full of... Come on downstairs and get your coats on.
I'll go and fetch their things, my lady. Alice and I have been playing the piano together, haven't we? Rather well, we thought. Yes, and playing the whistle. Only it's such a lovely house. You can talk through the whistle to someone upstairs, all the way from the basement. And there's lots of rooms to hide in, and cupboards for hide and seek.
Yes, I'm sure there are, but you must say goodbye now and come downstairs.
Please,
Now, look, we mustn't outstay our welcome.
Now, you could ever do that, Virginia, and you know it.
Well, couldn't they stay for just another half an hour? Please, Virginia.
Why not let them if they're having fun?
I want to stay here forever and ever. Don't you, William? Oh, yes, so that we can blow the whistle to each other every day.
Come on, let's go down.
Well, I'll come down myself, Father. We're having a bit of trouble with this signal, aren't we, William?
Very well,
This
but
track.
just for half an hour.
Would you like to see if you can find another dress for this one?
Now, pass the coat, but we are going to see the back. Stop it there, there. Hook that in there. More fuel's tied.
Go on playing.
No, I mustn't.
Oh, that was lovely.
No, play it again.
Some other time. Where are they?
Rose is getting their coats on.
Thank you both for giving them such a lovely afternoon.
We enjoyed ourselves, didn't we,
Yeah,
James?
laughed so much for years. It is a pity they can't stay.
Beg pardon, my lady. We're just going to see Mrs. Bridges. Shan't be a minute. We're going to thank her for our tea.
Oh, I'd like to take them down to the kitchen, may I?
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very good, my lady.
Rose, would you ask Hudson to think about getting us a taxi?
Very good, my lord.
Mrs. Bridges,
Oh, good afternoon, my lady.
the children just wanted to come and thank you for their tea.
Oh, it's a pleasure, I'm sure, my lady.
This is William and Alice.
Oh, my goodness gracious me. And did you enjoy your teas, my dears?
Yes, thank you. It was a lovely tea, especially the jelly.
Especially the jelly. Oh, my goodness me. Well, next time Mummy brings you here to tea, I'll make you some of my strawberry tarts. How would that be?
Oh, we'd love that.
I hear Miss Alice is quite a musician, my lady.
Not really yet, but she's going to start lessons on the piano as soon as we settle in London.
Oh, yes, my lady.
Well, we mustn't keep you. Say goodbye to Mrs. Bridges, children, and then we must go.
Goodbye, Mrs. Bridges.
Goodbye, my dears.
Thank you, Mrs. Bridges. You've been so kind.
It's been a pleasure, my lady. It really has been.
His lordship is up in the drawing room, my lady.
Thank you, Hudson.
Your taxi should be here in 2 or 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Well, the servants loved having them here.
Especially Rose.
Yes, they seem remarkably cheerful, considering we're under a month's notice.
What did you say?
Well, what else could I do, Father? I can't go on living here now.
They said goodbye to Mrs. Bridges so as soon as the taxi comes.
Yes, we must go.
Here you are, William. Hop down for you. Mind you don't shoot Alice with it.
And this is for you, Alice. Rose made a little bonnet for it. Thank you, how lovely.
Rose seems to have a wonderful way with children, better than my old nanny.
Yes, she has. She'd make a marvellous children's maid.
Who'd do the housework?
Well, Lily, we only need one housemaid now, isn't that so, James?
Oh, yes.
And Frederick would valet Uncle Richard as well as you, James.
Would he?
Yes. And Lily's such a good housemaid that, well, Rose would have the time to be Virginia's lady's maid as well. That is if...
Yes, if.
Does there really have to be an if?
Your taxi is here, Malaysia.
Oh, thank you, Hudson. Well, thank you, Georgina and James, for looking after these two for me. They've had a lovely time. You really spoiled them.
That's all right.
I think you'd better telephone the agent tomorrow morning, Richard, and withdraw the offer for that house in Clarendon Street, don't you?
Virginia, are you sure? You know what you're saying? I mean, please...
Oh, yes, I'm sure, Richard. I may be a pretty stubborn and obstinate person, but I do know when I'm beaten. Now, come along, children. If you
Does that mean they're going to stay?
Maybe. I don't know about forever. If you don't get... Now, don't...